What's up, world? I am back. Yes, I am back. I am so back. I'm sorry. I've been MIA, people. I've been working, doing my thing. I know I haven't did a 88 Radio since the last time I did an episode, but I apologize. I'm back. Um, yeah, there's a lot of stuff been going on, a lot of good stuff. Um, working on new music. Working on a lot of stuff. I actually got a single coming out next month on the first. This should be up. This episode should be up Monday, so we back in effect. And so I want to get to the. I before I go on a tangent and whatever, and it slips my mind and I forget the name. Let's talk about. I want to talk about the real thing before I get anything. A buddy of mine who been on the show, Charles Anthony, was talking to me the other day, telling me about this AI artist. I believe it's Zania Monet, something like that. He said, man, these AI, man, these AIs taking like blah blah blah. I'm like, I feel like this about the AI thing, about the AI artists. On one end, I see what the labels are doing with this, because with the AI artist, you can control it. You can control it, right? They have no personality. You build the perfect artist, and you ain't got to worry about nobody going off on a label. You ain't got to worry about them going off on Twitter and social media, speaking out. And on top of that, they say she signed a $303 million deal. And honestly, like, how does an AI sign $3 million deal? That's my thing. Like, how is that even possible? And I feel like the wave of artists is going to diminish or something, you know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of artists are going to start going the independent route, because this was, because let's be real, back in the day they actually had artist development in the early days, like from the 80s to the 90s to the early 2000s. There was something called artist development when they developed an art. Vividly. I remember vividly. It was a Monday. I was in high school. I watch MTV like I do every morning before I go to school. And they showed Chris Brown before he took off. They said, oh, we got this new kid by the name of Chris Brown, and blah, blah, blah. He's going to be the new phenom. Then a year later, Run It came out. I think that either a year later or that next semester, Run It came out. Took over. It's like, and a lot of these artists now, you had to become an artist. Like nowadays, label just sign people because they got a following. They don't care if you can sell out an arena or even the House of Blues. They don't. Oh, I. They care about asses and seats, and a lot of these people don't even have a real fan base. You know what I mean? Because everything can be bought. Everything can be bought. And I'm gonna have on the show soon. Nicole Marie was talking about it. She says, because I posted something. I think I said it on my page. Um, it was talking about Beat King, RP Beat King, that he had over X amount of streams on Spotify, and it didn't it was like a couple it was like a couple million. It was kind of like a couple. It was like a couple million streams or something. It wasn't a lot. It was not a lot. It wasn't even. It was bad. It was kind of like, damn. It's like that. And I knew these things. And Nicole, like, see, that's why I don't post. She said that's why I stopped posting my Spotify streams. Because it's stuff like that. Like, you know what? it's not even because I was telling people like streams don't matter. It don't matter because the money don't add up. Because how can I have over a million some odd, 300 million streams, and then by the time then I'm stuck with like a couple $100, a couple thousand. You know what I mean? Like, what's the, you know what I mean? It doesn't really like add up at the end of the day. It's like, okay, this money doesn't add, it doesn't really add up to me. So people like, oh, so got a like 20 billion streams. That ain't even, that's nothing. You know what I mean? It's nothing. So I feel like labels are probably gonna go to this AI stuff, but you still gotta pay people. You still gotta pay producers, gotta pay songwriters. Only thing you don't take a hit on is videos, because that's gonna be AI generated. Like you don't have to, you know what I mean? Like all the money goes back to the label at that point. If, if you think about it, and it's kind of like it's kind of and it sucks because as artists back in the day, everybody wanted to be signed. Everybody wanted to be signed. If you grew up in the early 2000s, late 90s, 2000s, you wanted to be signed. You know what I mean? My era is the early 2000s. Musically, I've seen it. We've seen it all. When I was in high school, everybody wanted to be signed. Everybody wanted to be signed to, I don't think it's a label, LaFace, Jive. I don't even think Jive's around like anymore. Like everybody wanted, the goal was to get signed. But then you realize how much, I realized this. After what happened to TLC, how they got jerked, I'm like, ooh, they got hit, they got did dirty. And then when you go watch, you hear stories about these artists like, yo, I want this kind of money, and like T-Pain said it best, like, yo, people be speaking out, yo, I want to get out my contract, and the label won't let me out, and you fighting to get out, like you still owe us money from 2008, like, bro, it is 2025, like you still owe a label money from 2000, and you know what I'm saying, like that's what happens. These labels keep giving you money, knowing I don't think a lot of people get it. These are loans that these artists are getting. They're not giving you X amount of dollars. They're giving you a loan that you have to pay back. In some cases, like artists need, you may not like, or people like Drake, Kendrick, Beyonce, Swift, all those artists I named, they know the label gonna give them some money. They gonna get every dime back. They're gonna get it all back. That's the game. Give me my money back. But then, like, yo, and a lot of artists don't know what to do with it. When they get 90 million or whatever, how many million, they gonna blow it off and like not think about, yo, I gotta pay this money back. You know what I mean? That's why a lot of artists stay on the road. That's why a lot of that's where touring is the most money. Like I said, independent. I was telling my boy Charles Anthony about that. Like, yo, I used to tell him that years ago. I said, man, don't even try to get signed. There's no point. Like you can do everything yourself. And that's how I feel like the AI generated art is gonna be. It's gonna be like, all right, it's gonna be burn and turn. All right, cool. It's all right. This people not feeling this one no more. All right, let's make another one. All right, let's make another one. And then a friend of mine, she tells me that you can, there's software where you can AI generate a song and drop your vocals in. Like, I mean, how did you make the, oh, I just recorded it and dropped it in here and made it sing this. Like I described a voice and a tone and and it popped this out. I'm like, what in the world? Like you get in and another buddy was like, yeah, man, it's kind of like, yeah, yeah, bro. Like he created a AI generator. Like, yo, this the wave, man. You got to get in on it. Like, nah. And I told him, like, dude, why are you doing that? And I know you. I know you. I know you, because I feel like if the AI pops off and people care more about the AI than you know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like. That's why I feel like I said, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do that, do it at the alter ego. Don't two separate entities. You here and this over there. But I just feel like this AI stuff is kind of crazy to me. Like, bro, this is it's one of them things like the music industry is dying anyway. It's dying. It's bad. You know what I mean? It's like it's one of the things like you really don't know. It's like it sucks. It really sucks because you really don't know. Because like a lot of the independent wave is where it's at. Whether you're an independent songwriter, uh, doing sync placement, uh, all that stuff, getting your songs put in movies and commercials, and or you're writing for other artists, which is dope. And the money is there. I feel like if you can do stuff like that and you write for a big artist, there you go. There you go. Like you get a and as a kid, I always like as a kid growing up, I said, yo, I wanted I I've always wanted to be an indie artist anyway. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to be an indie artist. I like before I even know what independent was, I was like, you know what I mean? I always wanted to be like independent anyway. It's like I always want to be an independent. Like I always want to have my own label. I want to do my own label and have people sign to me. You know what I mean? Like I make, you know what I mean? Because and then I heard about songwriting growing up. I'm like, yo, um, people clown this man a lot, but Bow Wow said it best. Like, yo, he said something about writing songs. He said, yo, if I write the whole song, I get all the credit. I'm like, oh, okay. Cause like think about it. Cause the brat said JD, she was in the studio. I forget what song she was talking about. She would say, yeah, I want to go to the club that night. I've been working all week. I want to go to the club, blah, blah, blah. And he got Chris Cross to help write the song. And she said it was so good she couldn't even add nothing to it. All she said, all she got is word up, hey. And that's all she said. She like it's like when you find out how much percentage get cut when the songs get put out, like yo, that is insane. It's like, especially if you're a songwriter, and I can't wait to have Nicole on here so we could talk about it. And I I get to talk to her about it because she's like a legit songwriter, and it's super dope what she does. And it's one of them things like I really want to get. I really want to get. We've been trying to get linked up on the pod for a while, so we're gonna do it. So just to get a perspective from a songwriter who does it on a professional level, and I can only imagine what it's like to. I can only imagine what it's like to be a songwriter, and then imagine this for all my artists out there. Imagine this: being a songwriter, and you have 4 songs in the top 10. You didn't wrote for said artist, that artist, that artist, that artist, and that artist, and they're all in the top 10. Hell, even in the top 100. You know what I mean? How crazy that is. Like, and you have big songs. You know what I mean? You kind of got like, you got like. I remember when I was like when Neo was super big as a songwriter back in it. I don't know if he's still song. I don't know who he's written for, but lately, cause I don't really listen to the radio anymore. I don't really be listening to stuff like that. But I remember back when he wrote "Irreplaceable." That was a big song. When the Dream wrote "Umbrella," that was a big song. And like, here's the thing about Umbrella. Then when I heard that he wrote the song, like, yeah, I can hear it. I can that then the Dream he does that. That's his ad lib, and like, oh, okay. Then when you go back and hear stuff like "That Girl" by Marcus Houston, then you go back and listen to it. You hear Neo's background vocals on it. Then you go back and hear the rough track. Like, yo, that was one of his biggest songs. Then you hear like who certain people have written for. Like, that's crazy. And think about, and like I go back to what I was saying, it's kind of like going back to the whole AI generated thing. I feel like that's going to, we're moving into an age where like artistry is kind of like dying. It's like I was telling somebody, like, people don't even know songs anymore. Like, you only get a sample size of songs. You know what I mean? I remember like somebody said a year or so ago, it was like, yo, people hear these songs and they only hear a clip of it on TikTok. They don't listen to the whole song. So when these artists go on tour, they only hear the first part. You know what I mean? Um, I remember when during, you know, during the Panini season, you know what I mean? I kept hearing Realist K, Wait for Me. I'm like, I kept hearing it, like, just the hook. I'm like, every three posts I see somebody with a something, like, it got to the point like, what is this song? Cause it sounds familiar. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm like, oh, that's sound kind of like Bruno Mars's joint. I'm like, but who is this? What is this song? Then I heard the whole, okay, this is a pretty good song. But a lot of people only hear that portion of a song, and it's like, then they go on tour like, yo, why everybody ain't singing on this song? You only singing the hook in the first verse. Because people ain't listening to these songs. And it goes back to what I was saying. I think I was all over the place in this on this joint. 'Cause I'm keeping it short because I had to get this off today. And I feel like a lot of artists, this AI stuff is gonna like wreck the business. I feel like it's gonna wreck music. I'm praying that it don't stick, because I feel like, and like, then again, even if this AI stuff does take out, like, how you gonna tour with that? I mean the Gorillas tour. I mean, I think that group, the Gorillas, they do tour. I'm like, I mean, when they first came out, I'm like, now I'm going to the Gorillas. I'm like, how are you gonna? Like, I was trying to process it. Like, are you gonna be sitting there watching a big TV, a big screen jumbotron for like 2 hours? You know what I mean? But I heard they concert's pretty lit. I heard they concert pretty cool when they do like tour or whatever. But I want to see how this is gonna turn out. But in the comments, let me know how you feel about this. This is a short video. This video gonna be going up Monday. Yeah, y'all. I'm out. I'm a Like I said, I'm gonna try to keep these going. It's Friday. I'm gonna head it to Monday. Um, yeah, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.